Hi everyone, welcome to Go Local Live. I'm Go Local News Editor Kate Nagel. Thanks for joining us this Friday afternoon, as we almost always do. Start off with former state representative, former deputy secretary of state, now heads up Stages of Freedom, Ray Rickman, to give his big view.
So people say, you bring a prop to a show, and I've done just that. And the reason I brought it is because it staggered me the other day when it arrived. This is John Brown writing a letter, August 1763, from Newport. In The Sons of Providence, the book, I read that he's in Newport that week, and he's trying to sell booze to Newport slave dealers. He's not a slave dealer yet. He doesn't become one until the next year. But in this letter, he's trying to broker a Negro woman and her child, I believe for a Southerner, Samuel White. He lives south of New Jersey. I don't know where that is. And this is John Brown, and it is a despicable letter. Despicable. It was given to Stages of Freedom, and we were told to sell it for $10,000. And yesterday I got an offer for $4,800, and I'm going to try to get $10,000 because these letters are rare. This is John Brown sending a letter out. Brown University owns very few of these letters. They only have the letters that came in. And Mr. Brown is as inhuman as a person can get, writing in his own hand. Now, for years, I have thought about creating a fund, asking the 40 families, documented, who made lots of money off slavery. There are about 250 Rhode Island families involved in slavery, but 200 of them got in, got out, invested in a ship that was going to do slave dealing in West Africa. They weren't permanent participants. We forget that up to 70% of Rhode Islanders were involved in this, building the ships, cutting the wood in Burrowville, doing the sails, doing the rum, doing the barrels. It was our jury industry before we had a jury industry. It really encompassed the whole community, particularly Bristol, Warren, Newport, Providence, but probably 20 other towns and cities too. So there are 40 families, well documented. The Browns are just in the middle, by the way. DeWolf is number one. And these 40 families made a fortune off the backs of black people, slaves, ancestors. And I'm going to, I'm studying these 40 families, where they are now. I know 6 or 7 of the descendants. We have a summer project. We're going to identify all of them, and we're going to write them a fancy letter. And the letter is going to say, will you donate 1% of your liquid wealth? We don't want you to have to sell a boat, a house, or anything. Just 1% of your liquid wealth, money you've got at Fidelity earning interest, to a fund, educational fund, for African Americans who live in Rhode Island. African Americans who live in Rhode Island. And any African American who lives any place in the world who lived in Rhode Island before 1946. So you could live in Connecticut and be eligible because your family is from Rhode Island. I'd like them to give 1% of their liquid wealth, but I'll take less. And we'll send this money to the Rhode Island Foundation, create a fund. And every January, February, African Americans can apply for a grant for summer school, summer camp, automotive training, X-ray technician school, costs $700 or $800 to be one. Go to Harvard, go to Brown, go to URI, go to Rick, go to Wayne State University in Detroit, any place. And we'll give away the interest every year. And if 200 people apply, we give 200 grants. Everyone who applies will receive a grant. And if you go to Connecticut College and you're asking for $6,000, you probably won't get it, but you'll get some money to help. If you read that letter from John Brown, the sickness is there, and off of it he made a fortune. Wouldn't it be nice if those 40 families at this point, all these years later, did something tremendous to lift up the race of the people that they put their foot on their necks and pushed them down, often killing people as well in the ships on the way? Wouldn't it be nice? Now, I'd like your help. Give me some feedback. I'd love to know what you think. This is not reparations, so we don't need to talk about that. This is a fund, the kind of fund that you would set up to help kids who have heart trouble. This is to help folks who need advancement in this society.